My Aunt Roseanne was diagnosed with breast cancer during her 4th month of pregnancy with her 2nd child. The doctor gave her 2 options. 1, to take the chemotherapy and put her child at risk of death or Down syndrome, or the second option, to not take the chemotherapy treatment and have a high risk of dying. Immediately, she decided she would risk her own life to save her child, because she believed love is worth dying for. The means justified the end because both her and the child survived. Although some may quote the Bible and believe that one should not be a fool and die before one's time, but sometimes the situation leaves no room for thinking. My aunt had a 50-50 chance of dying, and at most a couple hours to decide whether or not she was going to take the chemotherapy treatment. And in the end, she still chose to save her unborn child. This proves that love is stronger than the fear of dying. I am here today to convince or further persuade you into believing that there are things worth dying for, such as freedom, love, and the greater good. Even the American abolitionist Frederick Douglass believed in dying for what he believed in, freedom. He clearly states it in his famous narrative, saying that he came to a part in his life during which he planned in making an escape from slavery. Frederick was fully aware that escaping slavery would sacrifice or even end his life at any point, but he knew he had to see the light at the end of the tunnel. In the wake of tragedy, there are numerous stories of selfless people who risked their lives for others. Since 1904, the Carnegie Hero Fund awarded medals to over 9,500 people in attempting to save someone. On July 20th, 2012, 3 young, brave men shielded their girlfriends from a gunman who opened fire in a theater in Colorado. Obama says in his election speech, "There are brave Americans waking up in the deserts of Iraq and the mountains of Afghanistan to risk their lives for us." Kyle Carpenter, 24, threw his body over a grenade to save a fellow comrade. George Cross chose to chance death when he jumped on a hand grenade to also save his comrades. Both these men were brave, bold, and bright, and their heroism is like that of Jesus. But the definition of heroism is bravery. My aunt took the biggest risk in her entire life, and because she did, a little girl was given life. My aunt and the men from the theater risked their lives for love. Douglas risked his life for freedom, and the young soldiers risked their lives for the greater good. No matter if it's a loved one or a total stranger, one should be brave enough to help another.